college football fans and Buckeye fans. This is Two Legs Better. Welcome to my channel. My channel is also Two Legs Better, so please subscribe and come back later. First, I want to watch the national championship hype trailer with you. This is the Ohio State version, of course, and then I will give you my thoughts on the game, and hopefully you enjoy that as much as I can. By the way, I cannot take my picture away from that screen because it obviously kind of violates the copyright, so you have to forgive me for that. So let's start by taking a look at the hype trailer.
Do or die, but it's close.
Big play here, play the game, I would say.
4th and goal, Texas at the Ohio State 8 with 2:29 to play fourth quarter. 21-14, Buckeyes lead. Ewers in a shotgun. 2x2 wide receivers. Wiseman in the backfield with it. Ewers set to toss. Ewers being chased. Hit by Jack Sawyer. Knocks the ball out. Sawyer picks it up and he's running down the right side. Jack Sawyer hits the 50-yard line to the Texas 40. Sawyer to the 30 to the 20 of Texas. Jack Sawyer is going to fire in the end zone. And Jack Sawyer races it into the end zone to give Ohio State a 27. Ohio State defeats Texas 28-14, and the Buckeyes are headed south to Atlanta to play Notre Dame for a national championship.
Ohio State has gone on an absolute supermarket sweep rampage of the transfer portal.
The road has been long and grueling. There's been pain, there's been triumph, and now the Buckeyes are on the doorstep of history. This is for the Buckeye State, for Ohio. Most importantly, this is for this team and these coaches, for all those that were on this very doorstep but fell just short.
We are rightly called to find something in our lives worth fighting for, something deeply personal and uncompromising, something that can unite the will of the Spirit with the work of the flesh. And when we find that, we will discover fire for the second time.
Welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship.
All right, man, I'm really pumped. I'm very, very excited about this game. You know, it's not easy to be an Ohio State fan, to be a Buckeye fan this season, right? I mean, at some points you just worried so much. It's either some injuries or some other bad things just happen, and we lost 2 games in the regular season for this team, and this is, everybody agrees, this is the best roster for a long time in college football history. So it's almost like there are 2 kinds of fans at the point. Some fans are still in the mode, like, I guess it's the lunatic fringe, right? They're still debating, oh yeah, they underachieved, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And there are others who think, how did it happen? It wasn't supposed to happen for that game. But I'm the kind of person that I thought I'd find out the answer, and I did a clip on that, and I just move on. I don't think I should dwell on that. I want to focus on the future, and the future is the national championship game. And because of all the bad things happen, a lot of Buckeye fans are like jittery before the big games because we don't really know what's happening. And so was I. Before the games, like against Tennessee, I don't know what's going to happen, who's going to show up, what kind of team is going to show up. And man, was I surprised positively by the performance of that game. So for this game, I'm more excited than afraid, if that's the correct word. I mean, this is my team, but I know my place. I'm a fan, so if they perform well, I cheer for them. I enjoy the game. If they don't perform well, it's just a bad day in the office for them. So it literally has nothing to do with me, but still as a fan, I would enjoy that. So for the final game, I think there are a few questions surrounding the game. A lot of people probably have, and I also had, and I try to look into that as well, and I try to put thoughts into that. For example, the first question I'm thinking is, what about number 4? J.J. Smith, Jeremiah Smith, he was so dominant in the first 2 games and had only 1 catch out of 3 targets in that Texas game. So first, I want to give Texas credit. I think Texas did a great job because of their corners. Their secondary is so good. So and they schemed surrounding number 4. So they successfully took it away from him. So he was targeted 3 times. So beyond that 1 catch, the other one, the long shot, the long ball, long pass, he was really supposed to catch it. He normally he would. I thought he did actually. But somehow he dropped that. It's not an easy catch by any means, so it's not a blame on JJ at all. It's not a criticism, but still, normally you see him, even one hand, he can grab that, but he just didn't get that. So sometimes, these are young athletes, they have an off day, but I don't think anybody should underestimate his influence in that game. Just by being there in the game, he changed the game. He literally changes the game because everybody, every defender, their eyes, their first check is on him. That's why Carnell Tate had so many targets and so much success in catching the balls. JJ is like Marvin Harrison Jr., if not better. Marvin is great. Marvin is really great, but when Marvin was on the field, he demands the same kind of attention from the defense, and now that's what JJ does too. So the good news for Ohio State is, the team doesn't really need him alone to perform in order to win games, and they have other weapons there. So JJ is fine. JJ is doing great, and he's route running and everything. He's great. He's doing what he's supposed to do. I hope he doesn't pay attention to all the talk, all the stats. He doesn't really care about it that much, because there are 2 worlds. One is the fan world. The fan world, you see like Jack Sawyer's long touchdown there, and you see all the catches, all the excitement. But there's another world, that's the professionals, the people that really matters, the coaches and the National Football Leagues basically, and they know the player's impact on the field. So if I were him, or I were his family or something, I would tell him, don't worry about it, there's nothing to worry about it. And I'm sure he knows it, so he doesn't need me to tell him that, so he already knew that. So I'm just trying to share with my fans and other fans and say, he's fine, there's nothing to worry about. So would he go off in the final game, in the championship game? And during the season, he once mentioned that he wants to have a dominant game. He wants to take over a game. He kind of did it in the Oregon and the Tennessee game, but this would be the time if you really want to dominate the game. Think about Marvin, the great Marvin Harrison Jr. If there's one knock on JJ, saying debatable whether he's at Marvin's level yet, is Marvin gets it done. When the team needs a first down, whether it's 9 yards, 10 yards, 20 yards, he's going to get it done. With the kind of attention he demands from the defense, he still gets it done. So JJ needs that. JJ needs to really tell the opponent, also his quarterback Howard, just throw the ball. If 50-50, just throw it to me and I'm going to get it. I'm going to catch it. And it's not going to happen, for the interception the last time. It's not going to happen. So I think if he want to announce his accomplishment, his real arrival. He's already been here. The whole season he's been amazing. But if he really wants to announce the arrival, this is the game. If he take over the game, if he gets like 7 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns or something in this game, he probably will be, he's almost absolutely will be the Heisman frontrunner next year. And I think he's capable of doing that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does. By the way, by saying that, I'm not showing disrespect to Notre Dame. I'm also not trying to be like a homer overconfident to just say, oh yeah, we are the Buckeyes. No, it's not like that at all. It's just that he's just that good. His frame, his body, the mature body. He's 19 years old and 6'3" and 220 pounds. So that's an NFL body build, and he has an advantage against any corner basically. Even in the NFL, he has a body advantage there. So he has the ability to do that. If he can do that, if he does that, then the game will be over soon, earlier than people think, and he will be put himself in a great position. And he has the body, the technique, the speed, the drive of work to do that. So if he does that, I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised. And I think Notre Dame. This is the big question here. Are they going to play man-to-man or zone defense? Zone defense is what Texas used. So they used that to take away Jeremiah Smith, and they were mostly successful. But part of that is because the Ohio State shoot themselves in the foot especially in the first half. There were 4 drives. They had a 2nd and 20. That's almost impossible to overcome. That's literally it's almost impossible to overcome, because it's a passing down, and you just you basically defend the pass. It's I don't want to say it's easy, but it's to them, to these, they are professionals basically. So it's kind of easy there, I guess. So but Notre Dame is a man-to-man team. A man-to-man team, they played the whole season. It's I don't know. I think on the one hand, I think they should change it. At least play a little bit more zone, and I think that's the smart move because of the matchup. But on the other hand, it's also because they are athletes. Athletes, you can't play timid. You have to play what's your strength, right? You can't just say you can't respect your opponent too much in a way. So it's very, very curious. I'm very excited to see what Notre Dame is going to do. So, and I can see both happening. I can see if they have a very tight game, if they can take JJ out of the game. By out of the game, I mean, I don't expect Texas to happen again. So I would expect at least 3 to 5 catches, maybe like 50 yards, maybe 1 TD. That would be an off day for JJ. I would say, if Notre Dame can do that, I think they are in a much better position. And the other one, the second big question is about Howard, Will Howard. But I want to talk about him not because of lack of confidence in him. It's because of how important the position is. So that's the first thing, how important the position is, and the second is the history. Howard, during the game, during the regular season, he had a tendency to make 1 or 2 mistakes in the game. And normally, it wouldn't cost as much, but in a game this magnitude, it could be, it could be disastrous if he does that. But I think for quarterbacks, you gotta know when to take risk, right? I mean, if you're in the middle field, you throw an interception, it's no big deal because it's a punt. Of course, it is still a big deal because you lose your possession, you give the ball to your opponent, but it's not that big of a deal. But if you do that in your own red zone, and that's how you lose a game. That's how you lose a game. Because you punt, that's fine. We have our defense. It's like in the Texas game, we the team shoot themselves in the foot for 4 times, 4 drives. You kick it to the opponent team, and Texas basically didn't do much. They managed to score in the last drive in the near the end of the first half, but that was it, right? Because we have, the team does have a great defense. So I think Howard's performance is really going to be the key. If he performs well, JJ would perform well, and then the team would be unstoppable, really. So that's the probably the only question. That's Will Howard. That's the only question there I have. And for the defense, I have no concern at all. The defense is great and is deep. You think about, I talk about it, there are 2 worlds, right? It's the professional world and the fan world. Fans see the flashy things, like Jack Sawyer gets the defensive player of the year. Player of the game, sorry. But I would argue JT and Caleb Downs both played a fantastic game, and you can also throw in like Cody Simon. By that I mean the level of the defensive player of the game type of performance. I think JT had 3 sacks, 2 or 3 sacks, and a bunch of pressures after missing a huge part of the second quarter. And JT was really, really good in that game. And when he came back to the game, Texas scored when he wasn't on the field. When he came back on the field, and then the second half, and the team performed great in the goal line stand. And then Jordan Hancock, and he's he did a lot of great job there. He played he played nickel, but sometimes it was like a safety, sometimes like a corner, and he did a great job on both of them. So it was just beautiful, And Caleb Downs is just and Listen Ransom, they are just you can't say enough good things about them. So the defense is really great, Jermaine Matthews, they just, everybody was great on that. So if there is another concern, that would be the special teams. So if near the end of the game and we need the special teams to win the game for us, I know all Buckeye fans would be like, oh, whoa, okay, all right. It's probably not going to be all right. But anyway, so special teams is one, and besides, we really cannot let them to score on special teams. That's a big equalizer. So all of these things are considered. I don't see any glamoring concerns at this point. It's 2 more days, 3 more days away from the game. So I suppose a lot could happen during these times. So it's just I don't really have much to worry about that. And as a psychologist, I pay attention to the narratives and the psychology of the game a lot. And one of the big thing here is Lou Holtz. Last year, if you're not familiar, I'll just give you my account on that. Last year, the Ryan Day, after beating Notre Dame in Notre Dame Stadium, and by the last last minute punched in the short yard, the red zone, and a lot of people was questioning his behavior. It's like, you are a successful, big time college coach. Why you yell at an old man? Because he, when the reporter asked him, he was like, "Where's Lou Holtz?" Right? it's kind of so funny. But I follow Buckeye football so much, so I knew where it came from, because the Buckeyes lost to Michigan before that twice in a row, and because when you lose a game, you try to ask why. Now we know they were stealing signs. I know you probably don't want me to talk about that, but it is what it is, right? I'm not trying to find excuses. But then the team didn't perform well in those games, and the stealing part is kind of an excuse. You can say it happened, but you can't say that is the reason you lost the game. You still find out other things, and the main reason a lot of people came down to is the team is not tough enough. And that was the narrative for over 2 years. Well, not over, but for 2 years. So it kind of gets into the skin of Ryan Day. It's almost like, think about this. It's almost like if you are a dad, somebody tell you your son is not tough enough. It really gets under your skin. Sometimes you can even accept somebody say your son is not good enough. Well, maybe he's not, right? But if somebody said, he's performing below his potential because he's not tough enough, that's really hard to swallow, So I can understand why that thing gets under Ryan's skin, and also he was under tremendous pressure for those times, and he just need to let it off, and he needs a target, and somehow probably he saw that somewhere that Lou Holtz was talking about it, but actually it wasn't the real Lou Holtz. It was some kind of a performer or show or something. I didn't really follow that. I don't really care that much anyway, but somehow he said something really, really disrespectful. He was like, we are Notre Dame, we're going to beat them, and because they are not tough enough, it's soft finesse team or something, so that's why Ryan Day does that, and then later Ryan Day realized that actually, so they didn't really patch things up directly, but I think a lot of people had some fun with it, so it's all good. It's sports. It makes me laugh more than anything. And this year, Lou Holtz, before this national championship game, would come out and say, "Oh yeah, if we lose, it's because, we give it to you. You needed to keep your job. You're Ryan Day. You're soft. I give you a gift. It's just so funny. It's I don't know who did that. I don't know whether it's it's Lou Holtz himself, and it's make me laugh so much. I think it's such a funny taunting, I don't think Ryan Day really pay much attention to that. It's and I don't know. Some people make a big deal out of that. Some people say, what kind of this would give them bulletin award materials, and it would diminish the Irish accomplishment in the game or whatever. I don't think that's it. I think this is all for fun. And Lou Holtz is a friend to Ohio State. He's it's not like he's an enemy or something. It's not like that. But this is just, to me, that's the beauty of sports. You when you have a chance, why not just poke it, right? It's just so funny. Yeah, it would be really funny if after the game, if Buckeyes win, and if I were Ryan Day, I would say, "Where's Lou Holtz? I want to thank him for giving me the, whatever." So I don't think that's a real story there. By the way, also from a psychological perspective, I also enjoy the postseason, the college football playoff run so much because the team is so focused. We as fans, we can talk about any shit we want, really. We talk about the game, we talk about the past, the future, The team you can't. You have to focus. You focus on your next opponent. It's not time to celebrate yet. And I think the team knows that, and Ryan Day knows that. I think the right after the Michigan game, it was difficult. Even before that game, it was difficult for Ryan Day not to talk about that, because every media's attention is on that. Everybody asks that question. It's very difficult to be in Ryan Day's shoes, because if you refuse that, you don't want to talk about it, and that doesn't look good. And if you talk to it too much, it's a distraction, and it turned out to be a distraction. This is going to be fun. Two great programs. I think Notre Dame is still not there yet, so that's kind of my prediction of the game. Not that my prediction means anything, it's just my feeling. I think the game should be fun. I'm very excited for the game, and we'll see what really happens, and let's enjoy the game. I think as a fan, my advice to other fans is enjoy the game, really. Win or lose, enjoy the game. It's entertainment for us. If we don't enjoy it, why we do it, right? If that makes you miserable, you probably did something wrong there. So change your perspective and enjoy that. So this is Two Legs Better from Two Legs Better, I suppose, and hope like me you enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the future. Thanks.